And we are live again here at Whitman, Baltimore 2025 Winter Expo. We are joined now by the president and founder of Paradigm Coins, Mr. Shannon Rajkitkul.
Not bad. Not bad.
It's like mine's bad too, but it's nowhere near that. Thank you.
Not
I appreciate your generosity.
Thank you very
Welcome
much.
to the Coin Show.
Thank you for having me, guys. Appreciate it. It's great to be here. Very excited.
So tell us a little bit about Paradigm Coins. Where are you located? What do you do? What do you specialize in?
So Paradigm Coins, we're located in Florida, and we deal in selling high, expensive, really PCGS CAC coins, basically.
Okay.
A lot of them are type coins, early gold, early type, and we're a very forward-facing company, so we deal with a lot with collectors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like it. Very, very.
And where are you located?
We're in Venice, Florida. So we sell a lot of our stuff is online. So
Sure.
we have our monthly mailing list. We'll send an e-blast. Everyone will jump online at that date, and they go crazy and pick up all the best, or at least we hope so, some of the best pieces.
So what I'm hearing is there a physical shop or is
No.
it okay? So you're an
Yeah.
online dealer,
Yes.
and so you're big on want lists.
Yes.
What is it? What's hot in want lists right now?
That's a good question. I would say right now it's been easier for us to sell 5- and 6-figure coins than 4-figure coins.
Really? That
Really.
seems interesting.
And that's never been the case, prior to this year, I would say. So
Why do you think?
I think smarter buyers are in the market right now.
Okay.
These are, there's a lot. We've had a big influx of crypto people come in, and they have got some more money at their disposal. Collectors are also starting to see now how CAC coins and CAC G coins, there's something going on there. There's some high value stuff, and they're trying to really cherry pick between the more common stuff and the rare stuff. So I think the market's proven itself right now, and everyone's really going in for the rare type coins.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, so the type coins are probably the hottest thing right now, and some of the want lists you can think of as 1796, 2.5 no stars.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
That's
That's a high-end coin.
that's a big coin, and even in the most common grades, this would be a 6-figure coin.
Yes.
It's a 1-year type gold coin. It's small, no stars. That's probably one of the big ones. Another big one is, we just recently at this show actually sold a gold brick dollar, and not a lot of people want a gold brick dollar, but it's part of the type. It's a beautiful type. It's a bigger coin. The reverse looks like a flying eagle penny. The obverse looks like it's seeded collection.
Yep.
Seeded, seeded series.
And a lot of times the mirrored fields just make it pop. And
Absolutely.
It's a great coin.
It
That's
can
one of
be
my
a
favorites.
Really,
Absolutely.
really beautiful coin.
And this one had a little bit of color as well, and
Sure.
so we were able to sell that, and it's sort of these 1-year type coins, these big coins. They're loud. They're they're those sort of things. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I like
look,
it.
that's what you've positioned yourself as. You want the wow coins.
Yeah.
That's what you're selling is the wow coins.
Absolutely.
I've always had a something that I've said for years, and as a coin dealer, as you've been doing this for a really long time, every once in a while a coin comes along that makes you go, "Huh, wow, that's really cool," and that makes you, as somebody who's seen a lot and done a lot over the years in the industry, say, "Wow," then the next guy's going to say the same thing. We call those wow coins. I call them
Right.
wow coins.
Yeah.
And you're exactly right. That stuff I never ever have a problem selling.
I agree, and I hope you didn't trademark that, because we do use that word sometimes as well. But they don't have to be expensive as well.
No, not at all.
They don't.
They
can,
just have to be impressive.
Right, exactly. So you can go for the old green holder, you can go for the rattlers, and I'd give you an example. We recently sold a 1794 half dollar.
Okay.
It's a first year. It's got that beautiful design, and it was in VG10 PCGS CAC. So this is under 5 figures, in the high 4 figures, but this is still a wow coin. It's still a rare date. It's still on people's want lists, and so, a lot of these early stuff right now, even the 1795 half, you can find them with beautiful colors for $2,000-$3,000.
Yep.
you need to be patient, but you will absolutely find them. So it doesn't need to be expensive.
Yep. And you do the show circuit.
Yeah,
how
we
many
do.
shows a year do you do?
We do about 12, 13 shows. So
Okay.
not as many as the other dealers, but we do all the big ones, the big major ones. Baltimore, Central States, Fun, A&A, all those big ones. And that's where we think a lot of people come to. We'd love to have go to the smaller ones, but we're predominantly online.
Sure.
Yeah.
So being predominantly online, that
Yes.
means that you are a business that's based in technology.
Yes.
Our overall theme throughout these interviews this week has been technology.
Okay.
How do you see technology impacting your business going forward?
Great question. I'd go back just a few years at the start of COVID. At the start of COVID, not a lot of dealers had their websites, perfected. And fortunately, being one of the younger guys in the circuit, we had all the website, everything running, and we had a huge increase in sales that year. But and now fast forward, 3-4 years after, we've had to constantly improve our website because the competition is there. Dealers are getting smarter. There's more agencies out there helping build dealers. So I think this, I always tell this to other dealers. It's okay to go look at, on other dealers' websites or see how someone's doing something really well and incorporate those themes. And, healthy competition is good for everyone.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so that's what we constantly doing. We're always improving. We're always trying to find ways to get better and work with
trying
customers.
to find ways to stand out in positions because that's
just
the
like our
problem.
coins.
when this all started, you didn't have a lot of businesses online.
Right.
So standing out was really not something that was all that difficult.
Correct.
Now it's a completely different story. Now you got to
Right.
wave banners and all
Right.
this kind of stuff to get people's attention.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on people's business model as well. Some dealers they go to 40 shows a year. It makes no sense to have an online presence. And for us, it's important to reach all of our customers who are at home, on the computer. And one of the main things that we do is we're always engaging with our customers as well, trying to get the want list like we were talking about, and that allows us to be a bit more aggressive at the shows. Try and source those coins that they need, try and sell those, those sort of perfect coins. Another great example that we'll have coming soon, currently in the woodworks, is a 1796 quarter. It's the year, it's a type coin. Yep. Everyone wants it. Yeah. It's the coin. So we have, that's always on everyone's want list,
One of the most fun things I ever did in numismatics is I had a customer who wanted to put together a 1796 year set.
Wow.
He wanted to start at half cents and go all the way up through
He was
gold.
a masochist, wasn't he?
Oh, that's tough.
It was ridiculous.
That's
it was
tough.
And the hardest coin,
wow,
the half cent.
Half cent, the no pull. Yeah, the no pull. We actually have a poll coming soon, but the no poll is wow.
Oh, I forgot to mention it was an AU or better.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's make it impossible.
That's impossible.
We got almost all the way. The only coins we didn't, he had a 10.
Wow.
He did not have a 5 or 2.5. He had the half dollar. The dollar, of course, was fairly simple.
Yep.
He had the half. He had the quarter. He had the dime. He had the cent, but we didn't have the half cent.
Oh, you see, that's the coin. That's the wild coin that we're talking about. And we've got a 1796 half right now in our inventory. It's a VG10 PCGS CAC.
Okay.
We've got 1796 quarter, and we've got coming soon in our next list is the 1796 half cent that we were talking about. But this is with pole. It's a CAC coin. And even in the lowest grade, this is 5-figure. It's there's probably a dozen in CAC or something like that. So that's a very tough coin to find.
When I was hunting for an AU or better 96 half cent, I think there's 4 total. Wow. And I looked at 2 of them, and they were both, in my opinion, overgraded a little bit.
Okay.
And we didn't end up with either of them.
Wow.
It broke my heart not to fill the list, but I'm not also going to put the guy with the coin that I don't agree with.
Right.
So there's something to that as you have to be discerning buyer as well, as not just filling holes.
So as far as high-end coins go, there's a lot of different ones out there. Is there something that kind of strikes your fancy, something that you like more than anything else?
I would say the earlier material. So the early gold, you were talking about the 1796 eagle. I think that's probably one of the most beautiful designs in my opinion. It's got the small eagle reverse, not the heraldic eagle, eagle. So I'm currently also building a set for a collection for a collector who's doing, all the small eagles, 1795, 96, 97.
Wow.
And that's, I think a lot of it people think is extremely cost prohibitive, but you can, with patience, try and find it at 5 figures. So the design is beautiful, the lusters pop. There's a bunch of history there. Even it's odd to say this, but even at such a at 5-6 figures, I still think they're undervalued.
Okay.
Some of those
Yeah.
coins, yeah. He purchased an MS62, and I think at the time he paid 176 for it.
Okay. Yeah, and AU 55 would probably be worth that now.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. This was way before CAC, so there was nothing there, and it was a very, very fun project, and I still think about it quite often when I walk around. I always look for the coins because every once in a while I'll see them pop up
Right.
because I remember the coins, and it's just always fun to see them.
And not a lot of people do that 1796. The whole run of that.
It ended up being impossible for him. He just couldn't find the coins. They were too tightly held.
Right.
It's not that they don't exist. They existed. The ones we saw, some of the coins were too tightly held that we couldn't source them, and so we had fun as far as we got.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I've actually never met you before, which is interesting
No.
because I've been doing this for quite a while around the shows.
He seemingly knows almost everybody.
I know a lot of people,
But I've seen your podcast though.
Okay.
I've seen your podcast though. It's great.
I appreciate that. On your side, the technology is you guys are on it. You guys are, you have the website. I'm sure you have the integration with a lot of the other a lot of the other platforms that are out there. Where do you see the other side of technology going here for, say, the collector or the buyer? Do you see anything coming down the pipe for anything that you might find interesting?
Absolutely.
Or want to talk about?
I think, AI right now has a huge impact on our industry. It's got a huge impact, and it's sort of vague and nebulous to think about it, but I'll be able to give you a concrete example. You can think about trying to value a price of a coin. How do you go and purchase a coin? How do you go and sell a coin? With the amount of data right now, all the auction records going back, 20, 30 years, able to read the lot descriptions.
Yep.
AI will be able to very, very accurately, predict this is what you should purchase for. This is a cat coin. This is what it will be worth in a few years, and then one step further, in a few years, with our phone, it will even be able to tell you, okay, this has got hairlines on it. This is a bit dark. Stay away. Price that in.
Phone, it'd be your glasses before 2 months.
Glass, you're right, absolutely. With Meta and everything they're doing.
I have a pair around here somewhere that I use.
Those are incredible.
They are.
Yeah, I've never had one, but it seems really, it's happening.
It is, and it seems really interesting. I always think about it like the old movies that we used to watch back in the 80s, how they predicted the future was going to be.
Right.
And I think it's funny. It's like, in the next 20 years, there might be a little slot that you can put in, and you can insert things, and they interact with your body, and you can actually.
It's going to be more than just an AI thing. They'll have the cell phone computers that we have built into them, and then the technology is just going to explode.
And we'll have to adapt, and hopefully everyone can, because I don't know if they're able to, and our industry hasn't adapted, hasn't changed much. We're still using the cases that has been used, for 100 years ago.
We were talking about that earlier.
It's the same case.
There's not as much of the adapter die model here, right?
Well, there should be, because at this point,
it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
We were talking about with John Albanese earlier and John Feigemann both. There are certain people in this room that just absolutely refuse any embracing of technology whatsoever. They still take their sticker off the slab when they sell it. They stick it in their book, and then they write down what they got for it, and then they go home and they put that in their master book.
They give it to their secretary, and they say, "Here, log this," and then it goes into 15 different books.
The next 10 or 15 years, we're going to see less and less of that, obviously, because the guys are aging out of the market.
Right.
But we have to see what happens as far as what does that get replaced by on our side as the younger guys. Because I started doing this when I was 22. I was in a coin shop full time at 22 years old, and
you're old now.
And I was by myself. I was the only one there, and so I had to find ways to make my life easier because if I didn't, I would just get buried, and there was no way. So I've embraced technology in that way, and I like to see. That's why it always kind of interests me as to what's coming, because I remember when I first started, there was nothing. I mean, you had a spreadsheet. That was your best thing. If you had a spreadsheet on your computer, you were doing good.
Yeah.
Annex.
Right.
That was like an innovation.
That was who was grading coins.
That's right.
Like my coins when I first started, the old white Annex coins. That was what I was getting back in the mail.
The photo certs.
Yeah, no, that was before me.
No, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, you're old.
NGC had them as well, right?
Yes.
NGC had them as well.
Yeah.
But it's about optimizing, I think, right? It's about optimizing, and when you run a business, when you have an e-commerce, you need to optimize. There's a million things. You got to focus on the marketing, the fulfillment, inventory, making sure the website looks good. Have they updated the banners? So I think a lot of it needs to be optimized.
What do you think about the new kind of streaming sales where people literally sit and look at a video of a coin and just absolutely sell the hell out of stuff?
Whitcoin probably does that best than one of the top guys. There's another 2-3 people who do even more, but Whitcoin does it very well, and it depends also on the type of material.
Right.
And unfortunately for our kind of material, we don't do that.
I can imagine.
We don't do that, but and probably one of the main reasons, because if we're selling some higher end coins, more our customers' age is going to be 50 and up. So they're probably more than likely not going to be on these safe. However, that doesn't mean that we can't convert some of these younger guys later onwards to our, into some of our customers, future customers. So I don't think we should completely ignore that. So we have to see that, there's some pros and cons and try to work through that. Yeah.
Very, very awesome.
I think a lot of times we have to adapt our strategies to fit the technology that's available.
Right.
Use what's available to us for free, because there are an awful lot of things that you can do in this business that will be supported by the internet and by technology.
Right. And including marketplaces. Right now, Walmart is coming on the scene.
They're on the other side of the room, which is crazy.
Yep.
Which is, I would have never expected them to be in this, in this sector. But, I think it's proof that there is value here.
Yes.
And they're investing in it, which is, they're going to be they probably have bigger reach than, except maybe, comparable to eBay, but they're bringing in people, they're investing, they're doing their ads. So I think it's a good thing, it's a great thing for the whole industry.
Yep.
Well, and they're showing us that e-commerce is alive and well here, and it's there to be capitalized on.
Yeah.
So if we're not going to, they will.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. I hope you guys go out and check out their website.
Yes.
What's the website?
The website is paradigmcoins.com. So it's PARADIME coins.com. And Shannon Rajkitkul.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I tried my best. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Appreciate coming on the
Very
show.
excited for you guys.
And we would like to have you back sometime.
Absolutely, yeah.